All right, guys. So we're live, and we got one person already in the watching me. So I'll keep talking to myself until more people come on. How y'all doing today? Who's watching? Let me see in the comments in the message. But before I start off, thank you for the like as well. Thank you so much. And before I start the live, I just want to mention that I did a video that's coming out this Sunday. It's probably the best video I've done on this channel. So stay tuned for the video on Sunday. It's gonna be a banger. It's crazy. It's so yeah. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you haven't, all that kind of stuff, whatever, do it because this Sunday a video is going to be coming out that's amazing. Okay, it's great. Actually, I took 3 days to edit it, and might be because I'm super slow at editing. Also, all the subtitles took me forever, but it literally took me not 3 full days, probably each day about the first day 7 hours, the next day about 5 hours, and this last day, yeah, today was about 4 hours of working. So, all right, guys, we have 45 people in the chat, 8 likes. Get the likes up. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna look at the comments here, and I'll just say it again. If you guys want me to answer a specific question, super chat's the best way. All right, and I apologize. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. And the lighting is not the best. It gets dark here in Medellin quite early, so it's already getting dark. But let me see. What's up, CBL Daddy? All right, you just started. Yeah, just started. Just started the live, man. You're on. You're good. What's up from Miami? Bang away. It's not safe. It's only a matter of time. Yep. Oh, we got the top G up in here. Let's see. Is the video about your Mexico adventures or about Colombia? So the video that's coming out on Sunday, it's content here in Medellin in Colombia. It's gonna be it's a good video, guys. It's entertaining, it's engaging. You're gonna look at it, it's long, it's about 30 minutes, but I guarantee when you start, you're gonna be engaged from start to finish. And also on that video, I need everybody to like it and comment as much as possible when it comes out. And if you guys like that kind of content, let me know in the comments so I can do more of it. Jose Patino, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you. It's your first super chat on a live stream. Wow. I feel very privileged to be the first person that you gave a super chat to, man. Thank you so much, Jose. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. I'm going to go through the questions. And this topic today, I'm thinking about doing these lives, make it more specific topics, and actually keep them live shorter because when I do lives before, I would go on for like 2 hours, man. And just thinking about a normal person going through YouTube and they see a video for 2 hours, they're most likely not going to click in. So I'm going to try to keep this video 1 hour long, okay? And keep it on the topic of basically, I'm thinking about doing like the topic of talking about my last videos. So my last videos I put out were about safety concerns, dating dangers, and the new method of what criminals are doing here in Medellin, Colombia, and like in ways to stay safe, right? So, and the comment section on one of my videos, man, I got over 1,500 comments, man. It went crazy, especially that, I think it was the kidnapping video I talked about. Those videos people like for some reason when I just talk about a certain topic. Okay, so let me look at the questions. Okay, Jose is asking, what are my thoughts on Barrio Castilla? Keep up the content. Jose, I'll tell you what, Barrio Castilla or Castillo, I believe it's Castillo, that's not a safe area. So if you're talking to somebody from that neighborhood and they're inviting you to come visit them and you never met them before, if you talk to them online or Tinder, whatever it is, don't go. And if you feel that you can trust this person you're talking to, then meet them in a place where you feel safe. Say you're staying in Laureles or Poblado or wherever, meet them at a coffee shop, right? And get to know the person. Don't rush into anything over here in Colombia, especially in Medellin. Right now, the crime is going up so much. The criminals are seeing opportunities to make easy money and they're taking advantage of it. So actually tell you a story, Jose. Back when I first arrived to Colombia, I jumped online. I did the Bumble and I did a little bit of Tinder, because I just see what's out there, right? And I remember I matched with a girl, and she lived in that neighborhood, Castillo, and she was talking to me, and she actually invited me, hey, come over, we're actually having a party. um what was it, how did she say it? I was like, yeah, let's go grab a cup of coffee or whatever. So I'm always that kind of guy. I don't try to rush anything. Hey, let's go get a cup of coffee, let's get to know each other, to talk. And she's like, oh no, why don't you come over to my place, we're having a party. I have many friends, many girlfriends, you can get to know. And she told me where she lived. I was like, and I already heard about that place, so right away that was a red flag for me. Even though I was new to the country, I was like, wait, dude, hold up, step back. And I could just imagine she was being very pushy about me coming out there. And I could just imagine I would have shown up, walked in the house, and maybe two or three big guys would have been waiting for me to tie me down and extort me. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it would have been a good time. I had a good time, but you're flipping a coin. You're literally flipping a coin. So that's my advice for you, Jose. Been watching for years, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right. So again, super chat. If you want me to answer any specific question, if you have a dying question you want to be answered, just throw a couple bucks, man, and I'll make sure I see it. The only reason why is because it highlights it. Versus looking at all these questions here, it's hard for me to see. But yeah, so we got 88 people and 24 likes. Get those likes up, please. And I'll just remind you guys, the video coming out this Sunday, man, it's a good one. So stay tuned for that one. Have I been to Saboneta Park? It's absolutely spectacular. Yeah, of course, man. I actually lived in Saboneta for a couple of months, and I would say Saboneta is probably one of the safer areas to live in the valley. One, because it's south, so south of Medellin tends to be a safer area, right? And not only that, the way the infrastructure is in Saboneta, it was a small pueblo that became a big town, a big, like, a lot of population. So it grew so fast that the infrastructure didn't grow with it. So traffic is horrible in Saboneta. And what these criminals do, like, especially like talking about the guys on the motorcycles that pull up on you and try to rob you, what they want is easy escape routes, fast routes to get away. And Saboneta is not the place. It's not easy to get out. So if they do their criminal activities, like they pull up on someone and rob them, most likely they'll get caught because they can't escape fast enough. And Saboneta is a pretty tight knit community as well. So yeah, it's a cool spot. The only problem I had with Saboneta when I was living there was it's so far from the rest of Medellin. And my girlfriend lived on the other side of town, and I would take the metro, and it would literally take me an hour to get to where she lives. You know, hour one way, and then in car, like I said, traffic is horrible. So that's the problem. But if you like it, if you don't mind, if you don't want to be in the other parts of Medellin, Saboneta is a beautiful place. I like it. Okay. That's on Manizales. I'm moving there next week. I do digital marketing. Manizales is a very nice place. I remember when I first moved to Colombia, I didn't want to listen to everybody else of their opinions. Like, people tell me Medellin was the best place in Colombia. I didn't want to listen to them. I heard them, but I didn't. I had to get my own opinion. So I traveled around Colombia, and one of the stops was Manizales. And I remember arriving there. I'm like, oh my god, this place is so cool. The only problem was it was tiny. It was no, it's not tiny, but it's small. It's too small for me. I like a bigger city. So that for that reason, I didn't live. I didn't choose to live there. But Mike, I'm asking. Yeah, thank you so much for the super chat, Mike, for the $2. I'm answering that question right now about Manizales. So, but it's actually also considered one of the safest cities in Colombia. So for safety and it's just a cool city, and people are very nice. Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. And actually, if I have time, hopefully I'll get out there and I'll make a video on it. Um, yeah, I know some people already made some content. Actually, I'm the one that kind of advised those people about Manizales. I told them about it because it was on the radar, very much when I first arrived. But it's a cool city. I like it. I like it. And Mike, thank you so much again. Your first super chat on live stream, bro. I feel very privileged to be the first person you guys that you're supporting. Thank you so much. It really does help. Okay. All right, so we're getting a bunch of questions, guys. Try to go through this really quick. Okay, 113 people. Let's get the likes up, guys, please, because I'm only doing this video for an hour at the most, because I don't want it to go for too long. I want the rewatching when people look at the video, like, oh shoot, it's 3 hours. I'm not gonna watch it. Versus it's only an hour. I can watch it. Ramon, thank you so much, bro, for the $2. Again, your first super chat in a live stream, bro. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you so much, man. And remember, guys, if it's your first, maybe you don't know, but on the super chat, you can type in your question. So within the super chat, I'll see your question. So Ramon, if you have a question, hopefully I won't miss it if you didn't put it in your super chat. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Hey, David, I'm curious, would you ever visit Venezuela? A lot of travel experience is needed to go there. I don't know. I think as an American, I need a visa again in Venezuela. I'm not sure how hard that is. I've never investigated. My buddy Ace Live, he went to Venezuela. He's American, but he's also Haitian. So he might have a Haitian passport, and that might be the way he got into Venezuela. But as an American, I think it's a little bit more difficult. I have to research. Would I want to go? Heck yeah, I would like to go. Do you need a little bit more travel experience? Most likely. Actually, I talked to this one person. I met this one girl in El Centro for the video I did, the last video I did when I talked to locals. I didn't talk to her because she was actually just recently arrived. I didn't put it on film. I talked to her, but I didn't put it on film because she literally just arrived from Venezuela 2 months ago. So she was brand new. I asked her for agua con gas, and she's like, "What's that?" Like, "Oh, you're not from here." But she told me that Venezuela is getting better. It's safer. It's becoming safer. What 3 or 4 years ago it was very dangerous. So, um, but that's coming from her. Who knows? So I would have to go check it out. And would I go? Yeah. If it's very difficult to get there, would I want? There's so many other places to go as well. That's not as difficult. So don't know. Okay. So 131 people watching and 46 likes, guys. Get the likes up, please. Por favor. And let's see. So I want to make a comment. I'm looking at the questions, but I want to make a comment on the video I made, the last video. So a lot of the comment in the comment sections, people were talking about victim blaming, right? So why is so much victim blaming over here in Colombia? And it's true. Like I guess Americans we call it victim blaming, but here in Colombia, the mindset is you should have known better. Okay, you should have known better. And the thing is, I think it is a culture difference in between United States and Colombia or other parts of the world and Colombia, to where maybe in the States you see the criminal, it's the criminal's fault, and there's justice and justice is served. Here in Colombia, the justice system is not the best. So criminals sometimes get caught, they get thrown in jail, they get convicted, and then they're out in a couple months. So the consequences are not very high. So that's why they just keep doing it. And because this is just my thoughts, comment here. Let me know what you guys think. But my thoughts is locals, Colombians see that the justice system is not on their side, really. So they gotta watch out for themselves. So that's why the whole expression "no dar papaya," which "no dar papaya" means don't give a reason to be robbed or be a victim, right? That's why that's there, because you gotta watch out for yourself. And the only people that are really gonna watch out for you here in Colombia is yourself and your family, hopefully. And that's why here in Colombia it's such a very tight knit community within the family. The family is super tight. On New Year's Eve, people spend bringing the New Year's with their family, not with their friends. They may go visit their friends, say hello, what's that, but before at midnight, before it goes to at 11:59, you know, the 31st, everybody's at their home or at their grandparents' house, all the family together, so they can bring the New Year's together. They can hug and kiss and celebrate together within family. So just thought I'd make a comment on that, the whole victim blaming. And I don't I don't think badly on that. As person from the United States living here in Colombia for 7 years, I actually that's my mentality now. It's become this way. My mentality has changed where you should have known better, right? And maybe people coming here to Colombia don't know better because they haven't done enough investigation. That YouTuber from Germany who came here and got robbed for $15,000, right? And then he admitted on an interview with Obi Land, I believe it was, that he didn't do any research. He just showed up and just thought that everything will be okay, and everything will be the same as everywhere else he's been. That that's not very intelligent. That's not very responsible. Before I came to Colombia, I was doing all kinds of research. I was watching videos. This was back when there was hardly any YouTubers on online talking about Colombia. But there was this one guy I watched. He was called bro professor, the professor or professor with BRO, professor, whatever, a big guy, a guy that lifted weights, muscle guy, and he was making content about Medellin at the time. He took off his channel now. He's not online anymore. But I got a lot of good information from him, and then when I came, I asked questions. I talked to locals. I would talk to whoever I talk to, asking questions about culture. This and that. I would observe. But people come here like that guy, that German dude, just super naive, super thinking that nothing will happen to him, never researching, and then just falling for things that if you just do a little bit of research online, you'll find out really quick you're not supposed to do this stuff, right? So again, no that of papaya. You just should have known better, right? Okay. Uh okay, this is the 10th super on a live stream. Man, it's funny how YouTube gives me these notices about people in the super chat. So thank you, bro. I'm happy to be number 10 for you supporting a content creator, man. I appreciate you, Antonio. And you're asking the question, recommend living in Medellin given everything? Let me see if there's more to this question. Hold on. I think that was all the question you put. So I'm thinking you're asking me, do I still recommend living in Medellin given everything that's happening? Yeah. Well, how can I say this? To each their own, right? You got to come here and find out yourself if living in Medellin is for you. It might not be for you, but it's for me. I come here, so me, my with my how can I say this? By me choosing to live here, that should answer your question. Even though everything that's going on, I'm still choosing to live here. But for you, it might not be the situation. You might not like the city. But what I do recommend is doing your investigation, knowing what to look out for. Don't give papaya, okay? And then by doing all that, your chances of something happening to you drop down drastically. I've been here 7 years, only one thing's happened to me. But that one thing was it was pretty tough. It hit me pretty hard. And that was the only time, my whole time I've been here, that I thought I was going to leave this country. But that thought only lasted for about a couple of weeks, and then it passed. Because for me, the positives outweigh the negatives. And that last video I mentioned that people see my videos where I'm trying to warn people and try to educate people on what to look out for, and they say, David, you're fear mongering. Why are you fear mongering so much? And I say, gosh, those people that make that comment are really dumb. It's like anything else. Anybody who cares about you, they want the best for you, and you're gonna do these things. But they're gonna say, if there's something to watch out for, if they really care for you, they're gonna tell you what to watch out for. But they're not gonna tie you up on, like, in the room and never let you out of the house. Then that goes too far. I've never said don't come to Colombia. I've never said don't come to Medellin. Never. What I have said is watch out for these things. Be careful with these type of people when they do these type of red flags. That's it. So to me, it's not fear mongering. It's just me caring about people and trying to help you guys not become a victim. All right, we got some super chats up in here. Let me get to them. This is fun. Let me know if you guys like these live streams. My videos, when I do a normal video, like if I was to make a video like this, just make about that little topic that I just talked about for 8 minutes, that'll get a whole lot more views than these live streams. It's true. It's just that's what it is. But if you guys like these live streams where you can actually talk to me and ask me questions, then let me know. And one way to let me know is, hate to say it, but super chats are good. All right, Ruben, thank you so much, bro. Ruben Sanchez, your first super chat on a live stream, bro. Again, I feel very privileged. I'm the first guy you're choosing to support, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks so much for the $10. And we got Did I miss another one? Antonio Cardenas at $2 super chat. What happened to me? Okay, so you're probably asking about what happened when it made me want to leave Colombia. I made a video about it. I told the whole story on a video. Basically, I got robbed by gunpoint. I bought a brand new motorcycle, and within a week, they two guys on a motorcycle pulled up and took me off the bike with a gun, and took everything I had and took my motorcycle. But if you want to hear the whole story, find the video on my channel. It's very easy. Put Life with David. Got robbed, by gunpoint on YouTube search, pull up. I tell the whole story in detail. Yes. Thank you guys for the super chats. All right. So now I'm going to try to look through for some questions. And again, if you want a specific question answered, super chat, even if it's like $1, it's no big deal. Only because it highlights and I can read it. 202 people and only 65 likes. Guys, let's get the likes up. What was I saying? Someone saying that they gunned down a Canadian in a taxi in Saboneta. This happens everywhere. That's true. That's true. And I've also said that before. People ask me about, especially when I was doing Zoom consultations, people ask me, where is it safe? Where is it not safe? Anywhere in Medellin, anywhere in, especially big cities in Colombia, it could be your unlucky day. You can draw the wrong straw, just your unlucky day. And that's why I've said, just be mentally prepared, just to give your cell phone. If someone pulls up on you, because the whole things that these people that you guys have been seeing online on the videos, people making these videos, I've been robbed, I was this, I was that, I was kidnapped. The majority of those people is because they're going after the dating scene. They're coming down here, they're getting online, they're trying to hook up with women or girls, whatever it is, and they're getting trapped by these people online, honeypot. They're basically being honeypot by a pretty girl, draw them in, and then boom. Those people, the likelihood of that happening goes up dramatically. But if you don't do that, if you're just coming here just to get to know the culture, the food, have a good time, and then if you happen to meet someone really nice in the meantime, your chances go down a lot. But you could still be walking around the city and two guys on a motorcycle see you and like, well, that's a perfect target. I mean, that's what happened to me. I'm riding my motorcycle and I just unluckily I was riding on 33 and two guys on motorcycles saw me out of all the people on that road and they chose me. It was my unlucky day. But what you have to do it mentally, just give them your cell phone, just give them your wallet. And what you also have to do when those things happen, those things could happen, but you never leave your house with anything you don't mind giving away. So if you have like a watch that your great grandfather passed down, generation after generation, and if someone try to take it from you, you're gonna fight until the death that they don't take it from you. Then just leave that watch at home. If you just got a brand new iPhone 20, it costs $5,000, and if someone wants to take it from you, but you'd rather be stabbed, leave that cell phone at home and get a cheaper phone, get a Samsung or whatever, for $80. That's just my advice. And don't take out your bank cards. I hardly ever take any debit or bank cards out because what's happening lately, the kidnapping. And when they're kidnapping people, and this is usually through the dating stuff, they're taking their credit cards and their bank cards and they're charging them up. And that the reason why they're kidnapping is because they want to hold them multiple days. They want to hold you 3, 4, 5 days because your bank puts a limit per day how much you can spend, how much you can pull on ATMs. So they hold you multiple days, and every day they max out the limit until the bank basically stops it, right? And then I've heard on one case where they'll make the guy call the bank, at gunpoint and say, "Please unlock my card. It was just I'm over here being stupid with my money. No big deal. Unlock it." And then they keep on going. So if you don't have your bank cards on you when they if you're out, if you're not being lured by honeypot and being like bringing girls to your apartment, which you shouldn't be doing anyways. If they some two guys on motorcycle try to rob you, and all you have is cash, they're just gonna take your cash, and they're gonna take your cell phone, and that's it. And most likely, they won't take you for what they call the millionaire ride. Where they take you to ATMs after ATMs. So I hardly ever take my bank card out. I only take my bank card when I'm going to an ATM to pull cash, or if I'm gonna go, I know I'm gonna make some big purchases, maybe go shopping at a mall, and that's it. Okay. Oh, great question. Bangler Studios, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. First super chat in a live. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for supporting me, and I feel privileged being the first one you've supported. Um, when you were robbed, were you in a bad area? No, I wasn't. I was in a bad area. I was actually one of the nicer areas in the city, which is called Conquistadores. It's a, I would say, upper middle class and upper class neighborhood. People have money there. Okay, but at one time, that neighborhood, Conquistadores, was the number one neighborhood with the most thefts, most robberies in the entire city. And the reason why is because Conquistadores has many parks, right? It's beautiful. The parks are gorgeous. I loved living there when I was there. But there's many parks, and Conquistadores is right in between 65, which is a main road, and 33, which is another main road. And both of those main roads go to bigger main roads that lead to comunas or the bad neighborhoods, right? So that place had a lot of parks, had very good exit routes, and also because most wealthy people here in Colombia don't really walk as much, they have cars, so they drive a lot. And it gets dark here in Colombia around 6:30, right? So when it becomes dark at dusk, whatever, there's nobody on the streets. Everybody's in their cars or at home. You're walking around by yourself, and at the time I was on my motorcycle. They know that that area is very empty, very alone. So they know this. They go there, take advantage of that. They rob you, and then they escape. Okay. So I've made a comment about this before. Actually, yeah, I think I made a comment before. Most comunas or the bad neighborhoods, most of the time the robberies don't happen there. Those people that do those thefts, they leave their neighborhoods to go do their work, quote unquote work, make their money, steal their cell phones. They go to the nice areas. They go to Laureles, Poblado, Conquistadores, to the places where people have money. Foreigners like you guys are walking around with an iPhone, a brand new iPhone, and on their phone and typing away. But they just go snatch it away and make a quick $500. All right, so Aaron, thank you so much, bro, for the super chat, $5. Let me read your comment. Do you meet up with other famous gringo YouTubers in Colombia when you feel the need to be around other Westerners, Timmy, Volpe, etc.? No, I don't meet up with them because of the need of being around other Westerners. I have friends. Actually, one of my good friends, he's from the islands. He's from the Caribbean. Um, and do I talk to other people from the States? I don't really hang out with foreigners that much, to tell you the truth. I think only just my buddy, that one guy. I mostly hang out with my girlfriend, her family, or I stay to myself, or I talk to my camera. Or talk to my camera, So, yeah, I don't really feel a need to hang out with people. That's just my personality. I guess famous Western users I met up with the Ace Live a long time ago. I did a video with him. Super cool guy. I never met with Volpe or Timmy. I'm not sure if they're here still. I think Volpe's still here. Yeah, and that's about it. If they want to meet up, cool. Yeah, I'll meet up with them. All right, thanks again for the super chat, bro. Let me see. All right, now I'm literally just moving around and trying to find a question that pops out. Okay, KBS Travels is saying, what about Cartagena? What's happening there? Well, okay, before I answer this question, guys, 271 people are watching, and that's a lot. Jeez, man. Usually I only got like 150. Holy cow. I guess I did better by putting a title instead of just asking me questions. I put a title over to the topic. But 276 people. Let's get the likes up, guys. Please, please. All right. So what about what's happening in Cartagena? Well, I think Cartagena has gotten to a point where it's gotten so bad with the scams and with the stuff that's going on in Cartagena with the working girls, all that kind of stuff. There's a new mayor. There was a past election where a lot of new mayors are coming in, and I'm thinking I don't talk much about politics. I don't really pay attention to politics, but just my theory, a lot of the past politicians that were in office lean more towards one side, and now the new mayors are coming are leaning more towards another side, a little bit more stricter side. And this new mayor in Cartagena a little bit more strict. So I think in the certain areas where working girls were allowed to work, and they're not allowed to work anymore there, and there's no more allowed to no more vendors are allowed to do vending stuff, like selling stuff. Because one of the most annoying things about Cartagena is you walk around and people approach you and try and sell you stuff, sell you stuff. You say, no, thank you, no, thank you, sell you stuff. The guys rapping, even though they're really good at rapping, they'll come, walk beside you, keep rapping. One time I was there and here in Medellin, if you want to give someone some coins, they're super appreciative of it. I mean, you have a handful of coins, you give it to them, right? I put out some coins to give the guy. He said, "No, no coins, dollar bills." I'm like, "Man, forget you. Get out of here, man. You should be appreciative. You're here bothering me. Here's some coins. I didn't ask you to come rap for me. So yeah, he's making changes, and let's see how that works. So what's going to happen is I watched some of the news articles on that. They're going to put a specific area where that stuff can happen, like the working girls, that kind of stuff. It's called zona de tolerancia, which means the zone of tolerance. Okay, and other countries have this as well. So I think the clock tower in the old city is such a touristy area. They don't want that tourist area to be like the red light district. They're going to take the red light district and move it to another section of the city, right? So, all right, we got a super chat. Andre, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. Ah, you're true. Andre, of course we met up. He said, I'm hurt. We never met up. You never met YouTubers. We aren't cool. I'm hurt, Dave. Welcome home. Bro, my apologies, dude. Yeah, Andre, I met Andre with Ace and everything. Cali. We had a good time. Went out to the club and everything. Salsa dancing. It was a good time. We didn't make a video together though. We should make a video next time. Let's see. So yeah, with Cartagena, man, I see that as an improvement because I mean, look what's happening with Parquilleras. It's. I haven't been back in a long time. I'm waiting to get my better camera, saving up for it. I'm about to go back to Mexico in February. Hopefully, we'll see. Once I come back, hopefully I'll have the better camera. It takes better night camera footage, and I'll go to Parquilleras and kind of give my perspective on it. But what I remember when I first arrived here, you might see 3 or 4 working girls at Parquilleras back in 2016. Now they're all over the place. It's crazy, Okay, thank you again, Andre, for the super chat, man. I'm happy to be home. Colombia, man. It's hard. For me. It's hard to beat Medellin and hard to beat Colombia. All right, guys, man, we got 311 people up in here. Okay, let's get the likes up, guys. There's only 128 likes and 311 people. I think this is the most I've ever had in a super chat. Jeez. Let me look at the questions. If you guys want me, now there's a lot of questions. So if you guys want me to see your questions, super chat it, please. But let me see. Extreme Profits Online saying, I got rolled up on by 3 dudes in Jettas at 3 in the morning. Yeah, they're doing that. They're doing that, especially in Parquilleras and Provenza. There's a lot of greenery. There's a lot of bushes and trees and roads where you could be walking, and all of a sudden you end up being all by yourself in a secluded area. And those people who are doing that kind of stuff are probably watching and waiting for a foreigner to go down that road and then jump and take opportunity. For example, there's a park right next to the Dan Carlton, like the Ritz Carlton sister hotel, the Dan Carlton in Poblado. There's a park called El Presidente or Parque Presidente, something like that. It's a very nice park. It's beautiful. In the daytime, I would consider it safe, somewhat safe. At nighttime, never walk down that park because you're gonna get robbed. And there's another park in Poblado too that's near Parque Poblado. Kind of, you walk down the road, you go to another park. I forget the name of the park, but several people have been robbed, several people have been stabbed there. So Poblado, that again, the bees go where the honey's at, you know. So it's gotta be careful, man. All right, so wow, Extreme Profits is telling the story. They paid the security guard, let them in the restaurant, and when the wife saw that, we immediately stood up and left. Oh, let me go back and see if I see the story. Oh no, that's all you wrote. So it sounds like, yeah, that's the other thing that happens here in Colombia, in Medellin, other big cities. If you're eating at restaurants, I mean, they'll pull up on motorcycles, two guys on a motorcycle, two motorcycles, four guys. They'll pull up real quick in a restaurant, especially if that's powder city. They'll come out with guns, take as much as possible, and then take off. And that's not just with foreigners; that's with locals as well. I was actually watching. It was in Belen, and I went to this one bar that had the UFC fight. And I was literally the only person there and watching UFC fight, but the bar across the street that had people there, they're watching soccer or whatever, got pulled up on by two guys or four guys on two motos and got robbed, and those guys took off. This bar that was at closed down. After that happened and the police showed up, they closed their doors, and I was like, but the main event's about to happen. So I had to get an Uber to go to Poblado to watch in a bar, a sports bar for foreigners, for gringos, to catch the main event. So just part of life here, man. It's just part of life. And most Colombians, they know it and they accept it. And that's why that phrase, don't give papaya. All right, guys, this is crazy. A lot of comments. All right, so TJ local cities. Why not just get a? I think someone's saying here, why not get arma traumática, which is like a gun that shoots rubber bullets, right? And don't require registration. I think that was allowed back in the day. I'm not sure if it's still allowed. I think they might have passed a law that you can't buy those anymore because, and I might be wrong, but I heard that they might have passed a law you can't buy them because thieves were buying those and then pulling up on people, and they look just like guns, and they're robbing people with those guns as well. But I may be wrong. You have to go. There's plenty of stores like in the malls that have like survival stuff and guns and knives, so you might be able to find that there. But at the same time, man, the justice system here in Colombia is not the same as the states or other countries. If you did that, say you shot the guy with a rubber bullet and you injured him, you could go to jail. They could throw you in jail for injuring somebody. You know, here in Colombia, they protect bad guys a lot here. You know, and that's why even self defense, like if you get in a like you're defending yourself and you get in a fight and you injure that person, the judge could throw you in jail too, and now you're in a Colombian jail. That's why I repeat, just put it in your head, give them your cell phone, okay? And there's something that exists here in Colombia. It's called street justice, and I've seen it many times. Again, 7 years living here, I've seen it many times. Street justice. So when someone robs, it's usually people on foot. It's usually like, so, well, if the guy on foot steals a purse or whatever from someone and tries to run away, and then that person starts yelling, "Cógelo, cógelo, grab him, get him, he's a thief, he's a thief." And then all of a sudden, people from the woodwork, guys will come out of nowhere, run after him, jump on him, and start beating the crap out of him. I've even seen a guy pull a big old wood, a stick, and beat the guy with it was crazy, man. Until the cops come, and then when the cops come, the cops kind of pull everybody away. Even when they're trying to handcuff the guy, people will come and punch him and stuff, and that's usually like a mob thing. Not a mob thing. It's like, what's it called? Mob thinking. So like when more people are doing it, people react, and the police don't do anything. Usually, they don't do anything to those people because there's multiple people doing it. But say you're a foreigner, you get in a fight, you hurt a Colombian, you could get in trouble, man. I wouldn't take a risk. All right, so we got a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Metal dude, first super chat on live stream. Bro, we're breaking records here. We got people supporting me. I'm the first guy that they're supporting on a live stream. I appreciate you, man. $5. Thank you so much. Hey, David, I have no travel experience abroad. Should I go to another country before Medellin? I might go to Merida or Guadalajara first. No travel experience abroad. Mm, yeah, go to Merida. I've never been. That's a coastal town. I think that I've heard it's safe. Guadalajara does have its sketch area, so you gotta be careful. I went there. Um, you have to also use common sense, and don't go down empty streets, that kind of stuff. But I would say Mexico's safer in the sense of most likely people aren't going to roll up on you, try to take your stuff. It could happen. It happens, but not as much as here in Colombia. But if it's your first time abroad and you watch all my videos, you listen to all my advice and my tips and how to stay safe here in Medellin, and you take that to heart and do it, you should be fine. Also, at the same time, don't come here all paranoid and think, "Oh my God, someone's going to kidnap me. Oh no, someone's going to kill me. Someone's going to rob me at this all the time." No, if you're not coming here for the dating scene, if you don't jump online on dating apps, your chances of things happening go down a lot. Okay. And then after that, just don't be in empty streets at nighttime by yourself. Take Ubers everywhere. Um, dress like local, dress like a local. Don't take anything out of the house that you don't mind giving away. If someone asks for it, with a knife. Um, and yeah, that's it. And don't trust people too much. All right. I hope I answered your question, bro. I mean, go travel around, go to Mexico, go to south of Brazil. South of Brazil is very nice and very safe. Florianopolis. I went to Curitiba. I like that. Some parts of Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo can be sketchy as well, pretty sketchy. But I would say it's not as sketchy as Medellin. What else? Argentina, Buenos Aires, but even anywhere in Latin America, man, uh, crime happens. It's Latin America, so crime can happen. You just got to use your common sense, listen to advice, do your research, but then at the same time, don't be so like frozen with fear. Okay, Big Dog B saying, "Damn, Colombia sounds terrible for a gringo to go to." It's not. Colombia is a wonderful country. It's a wonderful country. It's a great place, and I call it home. To me, this is my home. But you have to know what you're getting into and have to know what to look out for. And if you do those things, it's a great place. Ellen is saying Bogota is safer than Medellin. Depends on where you're at in Bogota. I mean, there was a long time Bogota was a lot more dangerous than Medellin. But I think it's possible that because Medellin is attracting so many foreigners, and foreigners have the most money, and they're the most gullible and the easy to take advantage of. Okay, a lot of criminals are coming to Medellin to do their criminal activity. Just taking advantage, going where the honey's at. There's so much victim blaming in Colombia. There are many countries in South America that are more dangerous than Colombia, and as a tourist, you are a lot safer. I already explained about the victim blaming, about no dar papaya. I explained in the beginning of the video. Rewatch the video to get my explanation, but I agree. I mean, the mentality of a Colombian is different than the mentality of a person from the States, for example. Here, you got to watch out for yourself, and you got to be smart, and you got to just um, you should know better, basically. And the whole thing about other parts of South America that's more dangerous. I've been around South America. Like Brazil didn't seem that much as dangerous to me as Colombia. Like I wasn't as, I think what makes things more kind of like your spidey sense go off here more in Medellin and other parts of Colombia is because there's more motorcycles. And those motorcycles, the two guys on motorcycles, they can pull up a whole lot faster than a person on foot. Like in Rio de Janeiro, there's a lot of crime and theft, but it's usually people on foot and they run up to you and they take your phone and they run away. You know, so I can and you guys see me in my videos, and I'm not as like this when I'm not filming. When I have a camera, I'm always looking around because I have a camera in my hand. I'm walking around the camera. But when I don't have a camera, I'm still vigilant. I'm still aware of my surroundings. So by being aware of my surroundings, I can see someone walking up on me that's suspicious. I normally see people. So for me to get robbed in Brazil is less likely than here, because here, again, they can zoom up on you on a motorcycle. They see you and they come up really quick and they got a gun or a knife at your belly, you know. So you have to be even more vigilant. Let's see. Someone said here, we Colombians are warriors. I would, I mean, I think so. I would agree because if you're born in this environment, it's almost like it's second nature for you. I'm pretty good about being aware of my surroundings and keeping myself safe while I'm out in the streets. But for example, I was walking with my girlfriend, and she's from a neighborhood that's not that safe. Like it's probably one. It was considered the most dangerous neighborhood in the city at one time. And we're walking, and she noticed two guys down the way across the street that I didn't see yet. And I was actually about to cross the street. She grabbed my arm and said, "No." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Look at those guys." And I was like, "Oh, geez, you're right. Look at those guys. You know, those guys are suspicious." So we didn't cross the street. She saw it before me, you know. But if I was walking with maybe a foreigner, you know, someone from the States, I probably would have seen that before them because I've been here long enough. I kind of adapted my senses, whatever, if that makes sense. I I've never, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you when you're born in this kind of environment, man, you become, it's more second nature. Okay, so again, guys, 331 people and 159 likes, guys. Let's get the super chats up, and I may make this more of a frequent thing doing this live chats. If you guys like these live chats, these live videos, if you guys enjoy them, you know. Okay, so CBL is saying missing person alert. Colin Andrew Egbert is missing. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of people are coming here. A lot of people are coming here. They're seen as a place to visit, that kind of stuff, very affordable. But they're coming here with no prior knowledge and no investigation. They're becoming victims, man. It's crazy. Hope he's found. But usually when people go missing like that, usually they end up being found in not the best way. You know, they don't make it home. There has been people who have been kidnapped or taken, and then they leave alive. But a lot of times, man, they don't leave alive. They what happens is when people get killed here, the criminals, what they'll do is they'll strip the bodies, all clothes, they'll strip them down naked. They'll take all their identification, everything, and then dump the body naked into a river or to a canal, or whatever, or out in the middle of the neighborhood or in a dumpster or somewhere. They'll just dump them. The reason why they do that is because they want the they want the police to take as long as possible to identify the person. That way they can cover their tracks. That way they can get away, right? Because if they would just dump the person with their clothes and identification, look it up really quick, call the family, find out who it is, and then start doing the research. Who was the last person that person was with? That kind of stuff. So that has to be one of the saddest things to happen to somebody coming down for vacation, coming down here, and then ending up stripped naked in a ditch somewhere. Man, so sad. Okay, so but again, I don't want to scare people. I'm not trying to fearmonger. It's this place is a wonderful place. You just got to know. You should know better. Don't know, know that papaya. Don't give reasons that this happened to you. You know. Thank you so much, RBAT21, $5 super chat. First time traveler to South America, is Colombia or Brazil better? What's your opinion? If you're asking about better when it comes to safety or better in general, I love both countries. I love both cultures. I love the people and everything in both places. Right? It's different. It's different, but at the same time, I love it. Um, Brazil has beautiful nature, beautiful beaches. The beaches in Brazil are way better than Colombia. The food in Brazil is amazing. The meat, the steaks are amazing, way better than Colombia. I love Colombian food, but the steaks here aren't the best, right? Um, when it comes to safety, I felt more safe in Brazil. But I haven't been to Rio de Janeiro in a long time. I've been multiple times. This is before I did YouTube, and I remember staying in certain parts of Rio de Janeiro, and like it really stunk bad. There was a lot of there's a lot more homelessness in Brazil, and a lot more it's unkept, like more dirty. It smelled bad. But at the same time, like I explained before, most of the theft is done on foot, right? And if you're vigilant, if you're aware of your surroundings, you can see sketchy people coming up on you, and then you can kind of make moves. One time when I was walking in downtown Medellin before YouTube, um, I saw a guy that looked pretty sketchy walking towards me on the same side road. He was kind of looking down and looking at me like in his corner of his eye like this, and he had his hands in his pockets. So two things, one or three things. One, he looked sketchy. Two, he was kind of avoiding eye contact but looking at me, And three, his had his hands in his pockets. So I didn't see where I didn't see his hands. If you can't see their hands, you don't know what he has, man. You could have a knife, a gun, or whatever, and trying to get close to you, then pull it out. So what did I do? What was my self defense? Choice. I literally, and it was, and again, and the fourth thing was, it was in the back alley, not back alley, it was in a street that was kind of empty. There was nobody else around. So what did I do? I saw him in the distance. I saw him well before he was close to me, and I chose to cross the street. I literally just walk in the same direction. I just crossed the street, and I said to myself, if he crosses the street with me, we got trouble. There's problems, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna get out of there or something. So I crossed the street, and he didn't cross the street. He just kept on walking this way. I said, okay, cool, we're safe. And then of course, as I walked past him, I looked back to see that, make sure he kept on walking, and he kept on walking. I was like, okay, cool, we're good. But if he would have turned around and tried to fall, then I'm gone. And one of the best things you can train is one is being vigilant, watching, being aware of your surroundings, and two, start sprinting, start running, get your cardio up, get your get active, get away. But at the same time, I always remember this story that happened to one of my girlfriend's childhood friend. And the best thing to do if they're close to you, if they're far, like in that situation, if that guy was far and he started coming at me, I would have took off running, because I knew I was a distance. But one of my girlfriend's childhood friends, him and his buddies, a guy pulled up on him with a gun. They were coming out of El Estadio, and they were walking along the canal, right, going back to their neighborhood. And I think there's a homeless guy, I forget, but he walked up on him really close with a gun and trying to get their stuff. And my girlfriend's friend, what he did, the first thing he did, he took off running. Unfortunately, the guy with the gun shot at him as he was running away and hit him in the spine, in the back. Now he's paralyzed. He can't walk. He's in a wheelchair for life because instead of giving his cell phone, he ran away. So the first thing, like, be aware of your surroundings, train up, be good with your cardio, but always remember, just give your cell phone, right? And if they want to do more, god damn, it's so scary because now the whole kidnapping thing's happening, so they could just want to take you. Don't be in empty areas. If it's if an area that's kind of empty, don't choose to walk. Just call an Uber. Ubers, you can go from one side of the city to the other side of the city for like $6-7, so they're cheap. All right, so let's look at the questions. If you guys want me to answer, okay, got a super chat, and I hope I answer your question, RBAT21. Yes, just be aware in both countries, in Brazil and also Colombia, because stuff can happen there as well. Erica, thank you so much for the super chat, $5. I appreciate you. Have you been to Chile? I loved it. I felt safer than other Latin countries I've been to. I recommend it depending on your current situation. I have not been to Chile. I haven't been to Chile yet, but I heard good things about Chile. It's more expensive. It's a beautiful country with a huge variety of different landscapes, right? Desert, mountains, snow, the longest coast, I think, in South America or wherever. Um, Two guys that I'm working with in Mexico in the production, they're from Chile, and they told me about it. They're actually part of the security detail. They're protecting us in Mexico. um, and they mentioned that crime crime is going up or has been going up in Chile in the past years because of the influx of people from refugees from other countries coming to Chile and bringing their criminal activities from their countries to Chile. So they told me that in the recent years, people like they've never heard this before in the past, but now people have been getting kidnapped, been getting kidnapped and ransom for money, been getting scope with scopolamina in Chile. But I heard recently, and again, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I think Chile passed a law where they're going to actually expel, like get rid or kick out all the refugees in Chile. I think I heard that somewhere because it's becoming so bad with the crime that they're just going to say, you know what, guys, get out. So correct me if I'm wrong in the chat and also in the comment section, but that's what I heard. We're at 56 minutes, guys. If you guys want me to desperately want me to answer a question in super chat, because I'm not going to go for 2 hours. I'm going to go for maybe an hour and a couple, like maybe 20 minutes or whatever. So if you want me to answer your question, super chat it. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to find questions here. The reason why is I don't want this live stream to go so long to where people don't want to watch the rewatch, right? Just my thought. But I appreciate everybody, man. 340 people. We only got 184 likes, guys. Click that like button. It's free, and that's one way to support my channel and help me grow. Because I personally I would rather be doing YouTube than doing the TV show, honest. So if you guys can support me by liking my videos and all this stuff and commenting, it really helps the channel grow, and then I can do YouTube full time. All right, let's see. I'm looking for questions. Peter Arias, hello. All right, so I'm thinking everybody just talking to each other in the chat. Let's see. Are there any other Colombians? And for the most part, policia here is not arrest fellow Colombians if they do not because force and have no. Yeah, Alvarado is saying Chile is not as safe as it used to be. I'm not sure if he's from Chile as well, but like I said, my two guys on my production they told me about that. But I would love to go visit. Actually, I heard Chile has is great for skiing. Has really good, nice ski resorts. Yeah, guess who was saying based on the story you just described about the guy getting paralyzed, it seems that running away also is a form of resisting robbery. I, Running away only if you're in a safe situation, run away. Like in my situation, when I was talking about downtown walking, I was far enough from the guy that if he would have crossed, then I was like, fuck it, forget about it, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. I wouldn't have kept walking just to meet him and say, hey, how you doing? Here's my stuff. No. But if they pull up on you and they're right on you, then running away is risky. Just give them your stuff. Just give them your stuff. Okay. Just heard Panama is the place to go. Panama was nice. I went there. I filmed. There are some sketchy parts of Panama. Actually, the hostel I stayed in was right near the most dangerous neighborhood in Panama City, and there was actually military with weapons protecting that area. Because all the conflict. Um, but I definitely felt safer in Panama than here in Colombia for sure. All right, so we got a super chat. I think I'm gonna go back to it. I missed it. All right, Aaron Turner, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. $5. It's your 10th super chat on live stream. Appreciate it, man. I'm black. I'm 6'2", tall gringo, really blend in, just dressing like with the right clothes. Yeah, man. The benefit of being here in Colombia and being black, you can blend in, but there are even like I have friends who are Colombian who are Afro Colombian, and they've told me that they can spot Black Americans, and it's basically the way people dress or the way they dress, and then also I think African Americans just are bigger. There's bigger here. There's some big Afro Colombians. I walked by one dude that's like massive dude. But African Americans, man, are just bigger than most Afro Colombians. I think the just our diet in the states, we drink a whole lot more milk in the states, right? With all the hormones in the milk and stuff, so we grow bigger. But if you just dress like a local, you're most likely going to be able to blend in, you know. And if you feel unsafe in certain areas or unsecure, just don't speak, you know. Hopefully, I answer your question. Antonio Cardenas, thank you so much, bro, for the super chat. Let's get David to 1 million subs. I appreciate it, man. I really hope that happens. And actually, like I said before, the video that's coming out on Sunday, it took me 3 days to edit. It's possibly because I'm slow at editing. I'm not technically inclined, and the subtitles took me forever. But I really think this is one of my best videos I want to put out on the channel. So, guys, watch my video on Sunday and like and comment all that kind of stuff. And if you guys like that kind of content, I plan to make more like that, hopefully, and hopefully that kind of content will help me go get the channel going bigger, because the problem with my channel right now is really niche down. Like the content I've been making is really focused on people who want to come to Medellin, either live or visit, and that's a niche, that's small. So the next video I made on Sunday, I think it's a wider audience. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But I had fun. It was a fun video to make, man. Skinny jeans, give it away. I actually, people, guys in Colombia wear skinny jeans here too, man. I actually get quite annoyed about it because I'm tired of skinny jeans. I'm tired of wearing skinny jeans. And when I look for jeans in Colombia, it's all skinny jeans, man. Ugh, tired of it. That trend needs to go away, you know, because it's not comfortable. Yeah, Adam, they are loud. That's a great point. Americans, people from the States were loud. When I first moved here, man, when I was telling a story to my friend or my girlfriend walking down the street, I would get so passionate about my story and I would start speaking louder and louder. And literally my girlfriend would say, Dave, bring it down, bring it down. And that's just one way to stand out as a foreigner, man. So yeah, it's funny that you go, and it's kind of ironic because you go to one spot, like in a restaurant, or whatever. I went to a coffee shop with my buddy, and it was packed. But I told my friend who's a foreigner, not from here, and I told him, I said, "Here, be quiet, listen." And it was actually slight murmuring, like shh. Everybody was super quiet. It was mostly Colombians, all quiet, talking very low, like this. But it's ironic because at the same time, those same people at nighttime will turn the radio on full blast, and the whole neighborhood can hear their party. You know, so it's like it doesn't make sense, but it's just what it is, man. It's Colombia. You gotta accept it. Welcome to Colombia. Let's see. Yeah, the dress and the people being loud gives away the way the clothes and everything. Asking a question, do you think it's a lot safer to be with another person and two dogs than alone? I think most of the problem have single guys. What are your thoughts? Talking about dogs, actually, that neighborhood I was talking about before where I lived in Conquistadores, I heard of criminals coming up on people because, like I said, there were so many parks in that neighborhood. People will go with their dogs for the dogs to use the bathroom in the park. So criminals would roll up on them on their motorcycle with a gun, and I've heard of them actually pointing the gun at the dog and saying, "If you don't give it to me, I'm gonna kill your dog." You know, so unless you have like a specifically trained attack dog, you know, that dog probably getting you more trouble than you want, especially if it's aggressive. They'll just shoot the dog and then shoot you. You know, so Um, I think the answer to the question is just do your research, take people's advice that's given it, and let's see. I think Ruben. I'm not sure if you gave me another super chat, but thank you so much again for that. Yeah, take advice, do your research, and stay safe because it's a beautiful, wonderful country with beautiful, wonderful people. But there's people, bad people that just want to take opportunity of crimes that pay a lot of money, man. If you can lure a foreigner who's naive and didn't do research and lure them over and then take 15, $20,000 from them, man, that's good business. That's good business, man. All right, so David looks like a white Mexican, and I would say that's a white skin. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there are light skinned Mexicans. I'm Mexican American. I don't have any Caucasian blood in me. I don't think. I think I have more. Maybe centuries ago, I have some Arabic blood because people say I look Arabic. I don't know, but yeah, light skin. When I first went to Spain, I felt that's where I felt at home, man, because there's so many people that look like me. Because I think I have more Spanish blood. I don't know. Ah, looky here, man. Surfing Samurai Johnny, what's up, man? So let's see. This is Johnny with Bosto's Insurance over the phone a couple years ago. Love the channel, dude. Been following you since the start. Bro, I appreciate you, man. Send me a message on Instagram because I'm working out there near San Diego. I know you live in San Diego. I'm working on the TV show over there. So send me an Instagram. We can meet up sometime, bro. 100%. Yeah, we did we sold insurance over the phone. That's a grind. That's a hard grind, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. We can hook up, and I know you like to barbecue up some steaks, so I'll come try some of your barbecue. Good energy. You're only being honest, man. That's all I am. I just try to be as honest as possible, and I try to just. I don't. I know some people take it wrong and they get their feelings hurt, whatever, and they think I'm whatever. You know what? What can you do? I'm just myself. If you guys ever meet me in person, you're gonna see that wow, the person you met, they see on video is the same in person. It's me. I look Turkish. Yeah, I get that. I've gotten that. I look Turkish. I look Bulgarian. I look Israeli. I look. That's one benefit to me. I can go anywhere around the world and blend in, except for like some countries where I obviously won't blend in. Like in Asia, for example, whatever. Okay. Only family saying I would love to move to Colombia, but I'm kind of shook because of all the kidnapping. I wonder if you're seeing a lot of English people down there. If you're saying English, like from England, yeah. If you go to Poblado, man, you see a lot of foreigners, and I've met people from England here. It, if you just follow like I repeat, if you just follow what I've said, follow the tips, you should be fine. If you do what the people, if you do what other people are doing that get themselves in that kind of kidnapping events, then you got trouble. Let's see. I might have to do. Someone say I'm near Orange County, California. I may have to do a meetup over there in San Diego then at some time. A viewers meetup, and I might do a meetup here in Medellin too. People here in Medellin. It'll be kind of fun to meet you guys in person. What do I think about the waves of immigrant caravans coming from South America? It sucks that they have to do that to look for a better life, and they're mostly doing it just for financial and also safety as well. Um, but yeah, it sucks that it has to be that way. I feel the people, us were born in the States. I mean, we're blessed. We have a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't have. Let me know. Yeah, I'll let you guys know when I have a meetup in Medellin. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'll post it. I might have to post it on my Instagram. Yeah, I might post it on my Instagram and maybe on YouTube. But if you guys aren't following my Instagram, follow me. It's in the description of my videos. Let's see. Lenny, I'm gonna look for last questions. Are we over an hour now? 300 people, 229 likes. If you guys want me to answer a question that's dying, that you need my answer, super chat it right now because I'm literally gonna leave in probably next 3 minutes, man. Next 3 minutes, I'm out. But I'm gonna try to find a question that relates to this topic that we're talking about. Marat, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. Uh, Do Asians get targeted in Medellin a lot? I think foreigners get targeted in Medellin. So not just Asians, but unfortunately, there's not many Asians here in Colombia. So you stick out, right? I know I have some Asian friends who they said that when they travel around Colombia, people will like, hey, come and want to take pictures of them and stuff because they stick out, right? It's a new thing. So a criminal looking for a foreigner, they see an Asian, but at the same time, don't be afraid. Just come. And then the most here in Colombia, it's a business transaction. When they want to, the criminal only wants what you have. And if you only leave with what you don't mind giving away, then you should be fine. Don't leave with bank cards. Don't have a credit card on you. That way they won't have to kidnap you and try to charge up your card for multiple days. Okay? Just carry cash and carry a cheap cell phone. If you don't mind giving away if you don't want to give away your iPhone or whatever. Let me see. Hold on, I'm looking for questions here. Uh, Ladies asking about bringing her family to Colombia. The husband's not Colombians from the U.S. and the girls look pretty white. It's safe for them there. Yeah, because you guys are not going to be done in the dating scene. You're not going to fall for those traps. And then after that, it just boils down to will someone pull up on you on a motorcycle to rob you? That's about it. So if you just don't be flashy, don't wear flashy stuff, dress down like dress like locals, take Ubers everywhere. For the kids, there's in the malls. Most families take their kids to malls because they have like playgrounds inside. I'm not sure how long you're coming. You're coming for Medellin in April, so it's just visiting. So let's do like the normal tourist activities. And if you want to be super safe, contract an agency and go on tours with the agency. You know, you should be fine. Let me see. Yeah, new laws in Cartagena. I've already talked about that. You guys can watch the video again to see that. All right, guys. So look, they're definitely getting targeted a lot. Fortunately, don't know why. Let me see. I'm in the process of getting a gun permit here. In the process of getting a gun permit here. That's super hard to do in Colombia. Colombia is like other most Latin American countries. You can't. It's hard to have a gun. And then when you have a gun, there's a lot of restrictions, man. And if you use the gun, now you're in the legal system, and they could throw the book at you. And you can go to prison for a long time, even if it's for self-defense. So I would find a lawyer first that you trust, that gives good advice, and talk to them about that, like the consequences of using a gun on self-defense here in Colombia. What could happen to you? And then find all that information out, and then make your decision. Do you want to carry a gun in Colombia? Okay. It's not the states, man. I'm from Texas. In Texas, it's open carry. I don't even think you need a permit anymore. And self defense, you're safe. If you're defending yourself. But here in Colombia, it's a different story. Marcus, thank you so much, man, for the super chat, $5. I appreciate you. Is Saboneta safe? I stayed there, thought it was okay. I want to bring my dog, study Spanish, eat fit, and work out at Action Black. Yeah, Saboneta is pretty safe. But again, it can happen to you anywhere in the city. Anywhere in the city, you can get robbed, right? Things can happen. But I would say Saboneta is in the safer side. And I explained it in the beginning of the video, actually towards the middle of the video. But to sum it up, it's such a tight area and the traffic is so bad that for thieves to get in and out is very hard. So for you to get petty crime, someone pull up you and try to take your stuff, it's not going to happen as easy. For you falling victim from a Tinder scam or online dating thing where they lure you in with honeypot, that can happen anywhere. I mean, you're online, man. You can talk to girls from the States and become a victim. Have I ran into mafia bosses? If I did, I wouldn't know. Because here, you mean the cartel? Here, the cartel is they're intelligent, right? They're not going to be out in the open and say, "Hey, look at me, I'm the cartel." No, they're doing their business and they're underground. And they have their ways. So you're most likely you're not going to run into anybody. But in Mexico, where I'm doing the TV show, the cartel is pretty bad. And actually, when I went and got my haircut, the barber told me that he stopped going out to the clubs at night in the city where we're at because it's become so dangerous that you're in the clubs, and if you walk in and you bump into the wrong person and that person becomes offended by you bump into him, that person can send his men after you and basically kill you. And it's like Jesus, man. So he stopped going out at night. So in Mexico, I think the cartel is a little bit more. It's a lot more dangerous in the sense that they still kidnap and torture and do crazy things to people. Like they run their business off of fear. So when they kidnap someone, they don't just kill them; they torture them. They skin them alive. That kind of stuff. It's one of my worst nightmares, man. I'll be crazy. Uh, Brian Harvard, thank you so much for super chat. Your first super chat on live stream. I appreciate you, man. I feel privileged to be the first guy you supported, first creator. Thank you so much, Brian, for $10 super chat. If you forgot to ask your question in the super chat, try to answer it here really quick so I can see it. Because when you do a super chat, you can actually type in a question so I can see it. Yeah, the government's afraid of gangsters in Mexico. I wouldn't believe it, man. Because in 2006, the government tried to go to war with the cartel and they lost. You know, the cartel has a lot of power, a lot of weapons, and them being right on the border of the states, it's so easy for people to bring weapons from the United States to Mexico. Because when I cross the border from Mexico into the United States, it's so hard. Like you're being checked, you're being asked questions. They got all cameras and stuff. They had dogs, everything. Because going from Mexico to States is very difficult. When you're coming from the States into Mexico, nobody checks you, nobody stops you. You just drive right over. So there's people who make money bringing weapons into Mexico for the cartel. I think each trip they make like $4,000 or $5,000 just to bring weapons over or other things. So these cartels in Mexico are being armed by guns from the states, man, and the police and everything over here in the Mexico aren't very financially funded. So they don't have the most financial support from the government. So all right. Okay, this is gonna be my last question answer, unless people super chat. 'Cause I see a question here that's interesting. I want to talk about it. But if you guys want a question as I'm talking, super chat, and I'll get to that question. But here's the last question: uh, How can I find a good girl in Colombia? Somebody in one of my videos, my recent videos, made a comment. I think it was a Colombian lady saying that, David, you're talking about all these bad girls, these criminals, these people like doing the crimes and luring foreigners in and kidnapping them and all that, kind of stabbing them even. Like these girls are stabbing you because, oh my Lord, hold on. They're finding out, or you guys are finding out that scopolamine exists, so you're being more aware of your drink possibly. So maybe they get so frustrated that they want and okay, I'm just painting a scenario. I'm going to get to that question really quick, but it's actually here's the scenario. The guy gets on a dating app, matches the girl, invites the girl back over the place, thinks he's going to get lucky. He knows about scopolamine, so he's not drinking. They're offering drink. No, I'm not good. I don't want to drink. I want to drink. I'm good. No. But then he wants to, have the action. He wants to push towards what he's wanting. And when the girl to come over on Tinder was saying, "Oh yeah, of course," "Oh this and that," talking all kinds of stuff like she's going to do certain things. So now the guy's not drinking nothing, not being scoped, not being drugged, wanted to get what he wants. And what's the girl to do? There's two things. Either she's going to, and this happened before, this actually happened. She's going to cry out saying rape, rape, and start screaming and run out. And now you're a foreigner in a foreign country being accused of rape of a woman. I'm talking about these criminals. I'm talking about criminals who are the females who are in a criminal organization doing this type of crimes. They're going to either cry rape and run out, or they're going to grab a weapon and stab. And there's been multiple victims who have been stabbed by girls. There was actually a video I saw I wish I could show it here, but it was this girl that was leaving out. It was like a high-rise apartment, and she literally climbed out of the balcony and went down to the balcony below, literally scaled down, hung, and then jumped into the next balcony below, then jumped to the next balcony below to escape after stabbing a foreigner. Luckily, the neighbors took the video of her climbing down, called the cops, and the cops came and arrested her outside and took her away. So why did that happen? Possibly like the scenario I painted, that could have been the reason. So yeah, again, shit, stabbing. So these are the criminals. So how to find a good girl? Yeah, someone's saying they saw that video, the spider girl. So I'm not. When I tell these stories, guys, a lot of people think I'm making this stuff up, but I'm not making it up, man. It's crazy. Um, anyways, find a good girl. It's very. I would say the best way to do it is do what Colombians do here in Colombia. The most the most way Colombians meet their significant other or people to have relationships with is through mutual friends, through building your sphere of influence, making friends, getting active, going do stuff. I know many people that go take dance classes. They do it because they want to improve their dancing. But at the same time, in Colombia and also Latin America, people are very friendly. They talk to each other, they make friends, and then those friends make friends, and friends are friends of friends. And all of a sudden, when you're invited out to groups, another person invited, and like, whoa, that girl's kind of cute, or that guy's kind of cute. Who is that person? And then you get introduced, and now because you've been introduced through friends or friends or friends, the the risk factor has gone down drastically because they've already been filtered through everybody you know. That's how I met my girlfriend. Well, my friend invited me out to a social event. She was in a salsa class. The salsa class was having a social event where they're dancing and stuff at a bar. So she invited me to that social event because she didn't want to go by herself. I went. My girlfriend's mom was in the same salsa class. She didn't want to go by herself, so she dragged her daughter, which is my now girlfriend. My girlfriend's a homebody. She likes staying at home. She don't really go out that much. Luckily, her mom said, "Come with me." She was like, "No, but no, come with me." So she went, and then we saw each other. We started talking. The filter, like we filtered through all the people we knew. Sorry, we didn't filter through. The risk factor went down because I knew that my friend knew her mom, that kind of stuff. And then now we're dating. We've been together for a long time. So that's how most Colombians do it. The other way to do it is if you happen to go out with friends, because you always go to bars and clubs with friends, with groups. So you don't go by yourself here in Colombia. It's weird. But you go with friends, and if you see another group with a girl that you're interested in, and you see that she's by herself, she's not with a boyfriend, she's alone, and there's a song playing, you go and you ask her to dance. Most girls here in Colombia will say yes. That's not saying that she's interested in you. I know in the States, most girls only say yes if they think you're cute or they're interested in you. In Colombia, most girls just say yes because they like to dance, and that's just part of the culture. But if you like her, you dance with her, and maybe let her go, and you go back to your group. You're drinking your beer, whatever. You're having a good time, and then another song later on, you go ask her for a dance again, and she says yes again. And maybe after a few times or the second time, whatever, you say you start a conversation as you're dancing. You're talking to her, you're making jokes, and then you ask her for her contact for what's up. You get the what's up, and then you don't task her to come back to your home that night. You share the WhatsApp contact, and then the next day, and again, here in Colombia, there's no rules. There's no you have to wait 2 days or you're going to seem desperate. No, the next day or even that same night, you send a message saying, "Hey, it was nice meeting you. I really had a good time dancing. Did you make it home okay or whatever? Or it was nice meeting you. I enjoyed dancing. Hope you have a great night." And then the next day, you can send a message, "Hey, how's your day going? Would you like to maybe chat a little bit back and forth, and then say, hey, would you like to get coffee sometime?" And then you get a coffee. You go you set a date. Yeah, sure, I'll go get coffee next day or whatever. You set a date, go get coffee. You get to know her, and that's how you get to know good girls here in Colombia. All right, that's just how Colombians do it. I mentioned before that there's no hookup culture here in Colombia. And when I say that, that's Colombians, no hookup culture. I've talked to Colombian girls about that. And maybe the reason why some of you guys have been lucky to have a hookup, and again, hookup in my definition, I'm 40, going to be 41 years old, so I'm from the 90s. My definition of hookup is not on a Tinder date, like that. No, it's you go to a bar, you start talking to the girl, and you kind of you kick it off. You guys get along, and then that same night you go back to your place with her. Right? That's the hookup back in my day. That doesn't happen here. If it has happened to you guys, I've talked to again a Colombian girl before. The main reason why that happens is because you're a foreigner and they see you as non-risky in the sense that nobody knows you. Their friends don't know you. Their family doesn't know you. Nobody knows you. You're mostly going to be gone, and they just want to have a fling. They want to have a good time. But it goes back to you're flipping a coin because that person you're trying to hook up with in the bar could be a criminal. And then you go back, you take that girl back to your place, and now you're dead, or you're drugged, or where you're robbed, or whatever. Or she could just be a normal girl that just wants to have a fling and have a good time. But you're flipping a coin. Is your life worth the risk? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, guys. I hope this is the way I talk. This is the way I speak, man. I hope it doesn't offend anybody. you know. Quentin Glunston, $20 super chat, man. Appreciate you, bro. Sent you a message on IG. When I get off this live stream, I'll check my message on IG. I'll check it when I get off, and I'll respond to you. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. So that was it. 300 people have stayed on. This is the biggest live I've done ever, I think. 254 likes. Get the likes up real quick so when I get off, more people see it. Again, super chat if you want any questions right now. Otherwise, I'll give it another 60 seconds and then I'll hang up. Great job. Thank you so much, Barb. Um, Safety starts with common sense, understand the culture, and knowing what not to do. Exactly. Exactly. Uh, you have a gift of gab. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I was, all my life, I've talked a lot. My mom used to stop talking. But I remember when I was younger in school, I wouldn't talk that much. I wouldn't tell stories because I didn't think people want to listen. So I would like hold back. And when you start telling a story to someone, you kind of see their face, they're kind of like zoning out, like, oh, they're not even listening. Why do I keep going? So that I never, but with YouTube and with my camera especially, nobody, I can't see y'all's face. I can't see y'all kind of like, so I just keep talking. All right, so we got a couple of super chats. Let me get to them real quick. Marcus, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. If there isn't a hookup culture, why are there so many single mothers in Medellin? I think a hookup is sex without serious relationship. So your definition of hookup, Marcus, is different than my definition of hookup. I think my definition of hookup, in my opinion, is the original definition of hookup. Your definition, you're talking about unmerited. What's it called? Unmarital sex or basically sex without being married, right? That's not hookup because that could happen. That could happen after meeting a girl and taking her out to coffee and courting her and dating her, and then you have sex. But you're still not married. But in my definition, that's not a hookup. A hookup is something that happens right away. That same day, you hook the person, and you go. It could be an older definition because now dating's scene has changed. It's totally different. But your definition, so why there's so many single mothers is because um there's people who have sex without being married. Yeah, sure. But that girl could have been talking to that guy for a while, could have been dating, and they had sex and she got pregnant. And people start dating and having sex here at a young age. uh and maybe they don't make the best choices. And also for a long time, I'm not sure if it's still that way, but abortion was illegal here in Colombia. I'm not sure if it's still illegal. So if you can't have abortion, because abortion is legal in the States. So I don't have the statistics, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of girls who got knocked up and then did the operation to not have the baby. But here in Colombia, it's illegal or was illegal. So that's why there's so many single mothers. Just my thought, you know. I'll IG you later, mañana, for sure, man. Thanks so much for the super chat, Fantasy Ground, $10. Thank you so much, bro. So yeah, it's interesting, that whole concept of the hookup culture. So in the States, it was normal. It's back when I was out there. My friends and everything would do that. Tell them about Prepagos. Prepagos means prostitutes, right? You have to pay first. You pay first. And prostitution is legal here in Colombia. I think in Cartagena they just passed a law, but they're not banning that. They're just taking it and moving to a different area of town, whereas zona tolerancia, that's in pretty much every city, a lot of cities in Latin America. Um, so yeah, just be careful. I wouldn't risk picking girls up in the streets. There's places you can go to that are safer. Um, yeah, to each their own, I guess. So just be safe. Let's see. All right, so and also think people are in the chat talking about abortion. So the other thing about here in the Colombia is about women, single mothers. I think the way people look at kids here still, they call it a newborn baby. Actually, one of my girlfriend's friends, she got pregnant by a guy, and she's gonna be a single mother. Um, but she calls the baby her bendición, her blessing, you know. And everybody says, "Oh, you can't wait to see your bendición, your blessing." So they see it as more of a blessing, so versus a burden, you know. So it goes back to that whole family culture. So, all right, do you go live all Wednesdays? Well, I'm going to try to go live every Wednesday until I go back to Mexico, because once I'm in Mexico working on the TV show, I'm not gonna have time. I don't have time to make videos. That's why I went for a full month without uploading videos. I couldn't make videos. I was so busy. But if I can get this channel to grow and make enough money, I'd rather be doing this. So if I get my channel to grow or just get support, on Patreon or whatever to keep it going, I'd rather do this. I'm most likely to finish the season one. They want me if they picked me. They want me to finish season one. I most likely will, because that'll help me grow my channel. Because I'll, I guess, become more popular. I'll become more widely known because of the show that's going to come out. Uh, but I'd rather be doing this. So once I come back full time to YouTube, then most likely I'll try to do a live on Wednesday and post a video on Sunday. Like a video on Sunday, live on Wednesday. I'm gonna try to do the best videos possible, like with nice editing, subtitles, that kind of stuff, which takes a long time. It takes a long time to do. It took me 3 days to make this videos come out on Sunday, man. David started a novela. No, no, this show that I'm on is crazy. It's crazy, and it's kind of dangerous. I'll say that it's kind of dangerous. So uh, I'd rather be doing YouTube. Living in the city is dangerous, but the show is when it comes out, you guys would understand. Interview Colombianas on your channel, and channel will grow. Sure. Is the show for Mexican TV? No, it's American TV. American, a U.S. audience. Look, someone just joined as a member. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining the member for the channel. I appreciate you, man. If you want, you can join the membership on the channel, and also my Patreon is in the link that just builds up the Patreon. I'm actually thinking about in the future offering something like bringing down to 3 levels on the Patreon, like 3 different levels, and then offering something like maybe uncut video or something. I'm gonna do research to be able to give back, because I had my Patreon for a long time and I never really offered anything. Just people just were supporting, and I appreciate everybody who has been supporting on the Patreon. It really does help. But I'm gonna work on something I can give back, like I said, uncut video or something, like just give back to the Patreon and then build it up as well. Because unfortunately, YouTube takes like 30% of what you guys pay. That's why on my description I have the Patreon, PayPal, and also Cash App. I can't, como se llama el show? I can't say the name. I can't give any kind of information because I signed a NDA, non-disclosure agreement. and they're on top of it, man. There's some people in the production who actually took pictures of what's been going on. Like they took pictures of the like the scene, right, and like what we're wearing, and they post on their Instagram, and right away security, like the production security, told them take it down. And I kind of laughed to myself because I'm like the only one that on the production that's actually like an influencer, I guess, you know. And I I'm horrible at posting stuff on Instagram. I didn't even think about taking. I haven't even taken any kind of pictures or content, like any kind of short video to show in the future once it comes out. I'm gonna start doing it. When I go back, I'll start taking little short videos and stuff. That way when it runs, I can start posting like, hey, check out this episode coming out, whatever, you know, on Instagram. I just need to get better at that. Ray Summers frisbee, yeah, frisbee is delicious. All right, Ray's been served for a long time. Thank you, Ray. Okay, so yeah, David's an actor. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Not really, but there's no script, so I'm not following. I don't have to follow a script. I'm not sure if I could follow a script, man. Blessings, put. Okay, that's it. So I went over the hour. I said I was going to do an hour, but I went hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate everybody. This was an awesome live. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday for another live after my video that comes on Sunday. And we're going to talk about that video on Wednesday. So watch the video that comes out on Sunday, guys. Let's make this one, that video, the number one video. It's going to be freaking awesome. All right, guys. See y'all next time. Ciao, ciao.